Let's do this. Get ready for the Dirt Life Show.
Yeah. What's up? I'm Georgie Hamill. This is episode 24 of the Dirt Life Show. Tonight we got our special guest, going to be Ryan Edwards of KMC Wheels. He just got that position over there, so we're going to talk to him about what he's got going on with the company, have some fun talking about KOH. And in studio, we got my buddy Casey Peck. What's going on, Case?
What's happening?
How's things going today?
Good. It's a little cold.
I know. Like, we had like 3 different discussions with people today about how freaking cold it was, and I'm already like so warm-blooded. When it gets cold, dude, it's like,
yeah, us lizards feel it, don't we?
Us Arizona boys.
Arizona lizards.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm definitely looking forward to it getting a little bit warmer. But yeah, so episode 24, man, it's pretty cool. Like, I don't know, it just keeps going and going. I can't wait till we have a 0 on the end of it.
It's funny, it wasn't that long ago that it was like, hey, 19, your number, that's awesome.
Exactly.
Then, hey, that's 5 more.
We do once a week, so it's actually pretty. I was actually thinking, I wonder if it would be better to do it once every 2 weeks or something like that. But I think we'd get a couple people that might be a little bit mad because they enjoy watching the show. So we'll see. 2020 is going to be a good year for us, man. I can't wait to tell everybody what plans we have coming up. Before we start getting into our stuff, let's talk about how we can connect. So thank you, everybody, for tuning in, for joining us, for connecting with us, just being a part of the show. It really means a lot to me, and it means a lot to everybody else that you're able to connect and support the show, because that's what really makes the show keep going. There's been a few times that I was thinking about actually just, I don't know, calling it quits just because the show was so hard. It's so much effort to do. Like, I talked to 3 or 4 people this week about starting their own podcast, and they were asking me, what does it take to start a podcast? And I think they were all thinking the same thing that I did at the beginning, like being super naive about it. Oh, dude, you're only talking on the microphone for a couple hours a week, right?
Right.
Well, I've logged, I think, maybe 60 to 70 hours for the past 3 months every single week.
Yeah, but you just fire up a laptop and talk, right?
I know. That's what everybody thinks. Right. It's crazy how much actual work goes into it. But
well, here's what's cool. Think about this. You got 25 under your belt. It's going pretty good.
Yeah.
And now you're able to help someone else get going. Like, that's...
Dude, it meant a lot to me to hear that.
That's pretty awesome.
And it also makes me feel good, too. Like, when I was thinking about it, like, in a negative light like that, I was like, you know what, George? Turn it around, dude. Like, don't think like that. Like, you should be pumped. Like, you're doing a good job. Like, so I would need to give myself a pat on the back kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like, dude, it's going good.
Right, somebody's asking. They're obviously taking the next step of, hey, that looks like it's working.
Exactly.
Can you help me out? So it's a compliment.
Yeah, exactly. And so the hard work is paying off. But that's what I meant by thanking everybody. It wouldn't be paying off as much if it wasn't for you guys. So thank you so much for being a part of the show, for joining, communicating with us, jumping on board. You can always communicate with us through social media. Hit up our Instagram page. That's the best one. It's at The Dirt Life Show. You can always look at the archive episodes on YouTube. You can check them out on Facebook if you want to, but the best quality videos are on YouTube, so you can see the live shows there. If you want to just do it while you're driving around, don't watch YouTube. Definitely do it on iTunes. There was a couple people that said they were watching it on YouTube while they were driving down the freeway. So
do not condone that.
Yeah. So we don't want anybody crashing because of the Dirt Life Show. So listen to it on iTunes or Google or something like that. So and if you have any questions or you want to buy any merch or anything like that, we have a couple taco shirts left, but we need to print some more hats and stuff. You can go to thedirtlifeshow.com and visit us there. You can also connect with us there. All of our social media, everything's there. If you really want to are sitting at work and you want to get a hold of us, thedirtlifeshow@gmail.com is the email address. And, of course, thank you to all of our sponsors. Shock Therapy has been a big part of the show. We love those guys over there. Give them a call and use the code DIRTLIFE, and you can get a big old fat discount on anything like their ride command system and get your suspension reworked. Cody got his stuff done on his YXZ. We're going to get some, like, what do you want to call it, a review on the suspension kit that he got. Man, it looked pretty badass. I think the Unicord might need some upgrades pretty quick here too. Thank you very, very much for the guys at Zollinger Racing Products. They were just at King of the Hammers. You can use the code DIRTLIFE on their website as well. Get a big old fat discount on their products. We have, over next to Case here, we have some radius rods for a Polaris Razor Turbo S. What is it, the 72-inch or 74-inch car? Those things are super, super cool. 70-75 billet aluminum, all CNC machined, all built in the United States too. So
this thing is, I mean, it's
heavy, huh?
It is. It's a nice piece of work, but when you look at the finish, I mean, there's like no detail missed here.
Yeah.
This is like,
and like even all the gussets and stuff
it's
too.
Awesome.
And like when you put it in your hand, you're like, holy cow! Like you don't think it's that heavy when you go to grab it, right?
When I pick it up, I'm like, wow, this thing means.
And this one has the high clearance. Like so, this is for the bottom of the car, and then
Right.
the other radius rod goes on the top, and then so this part is for rock clearances and things like that.
Nice.
So at King of the Hammers, that would have been super critical.
Yeah, a lot of thought put into this.
Yeah.
This is awesome.
And so we're going to be giving those away a little bit later in the show. I can't wait to do that. There was a lot of people that chimed in on social media wanting to win these bad boys. So thank you very much to the Zollinger guys for offering that to give to us, or to give to you guys. Thank you very much to the guys at Rigid Industries. They've always been held a special piece of my heart because of Brett Carpenter working over there, and I've met some really, really cool guys that also work over there too. Albert has been helping out a little bit as well, and Brett actually moved over to Polaris, so he got a new position over there, and his first gig was at his first event that he went to was at King of the Hammers this weekend. So
Awesome.
I definitely want to talk to him about that. He's definitely a good dude. So thank you very, very much to the guys at Solderweld. They offer an off-road repair kit that you can repair your ride or your race, and that kit is pretty cool. It's just like a first aid kit kind of that you put in your UTV or your truck or whatever, and you can bond metal on the trail anywhere. So that's going to be really cool to share with people too. I would definitely want to get those in some of our audience's hands pretty soon. Maybe we can talk to Lance about it this coming week because he's going to come from Utah. He's going to come down and sit with us on the show, and next week's show is also going to be pretty cool because we have one of the old school motocrossers that we grew up looking at and idolizing. His name is Chris Ridgway. So that's going to be pretty cool. You and I before the show got to see what are those things
High
called?
flyer.
High Flyer.
High Flyer cards, yeah. And it's funny because, remember, I was like, wasn't he on a Suzuki?
Yeah.
And there was something weird about the picture. And, yeah, it was like he was riding in space or something.
Yep, exactly.
So funny the things you remember.
It's pretty cool, though. And he's right next to Damon Bradshaw, too.
Yeah.
In the sequence of the cards. So those cards are like little baseball cards, but they're for dirt bikes.
Right.
And I have a full collection of them, so I'm going to surprise him and show him that
Awesome.
we got those.
He's going to love it.
So it'll be pretty cool. Well, hopefully he didn't hear me say that. So
yeah, I guess it's not a surprise.
Yeah, then it won't be a real big surprise. But yeah, again, thank you very, very much for everybody tuning in. We really appreciate it. Hopefully we can keep growing the show. So any comments, any suggestions that you guys have, please let us know, and we will take them into consideration and try to see what we can do. There's a couple of pretty cool events that happened this weekend, dude. King of the Hammers and Oakland Supercross.
Mm-hmm.
Both of them, I think, were pretty intense.
No doubt.
Did you get to watch Oakland?
I did.
What'd you think?
I'm a Supercross fan, so it doesn't matter what happens. But it was insane.
give me your opinions on the 250 class first. So what do you think of the 250 class?
Man, as much
Actually, you know what? Give me your opinion on the track first. Let's lay the groundwork here.
Not a huge fan, but it definitely did what they wanted it to.
Yeah.
Definitely mixed things up, slowed things down.
I agree with that.
And, I mean, it definitely it tightened it up. I hate to say it, but it's almost like, did they NASCAR it? Like, do we need to give Cooper a chance to get back up there? Right.
That's actually a good point.
Make the whoops this tall. And
yeah.
It doesn't matter. Let's think about that last turn pass like you asked me. If you weren't a Roxon fan or whatever, wouldn't you say that last corner pass was, like, unbelievable?
Like if you had no idea about Supercross and you just tuned in and you were like just watching it for the first time and you saw that, you'd be like, this is the best thing ever.
That guy has the wherewithal to be. He's always in the moment, right? He doesn't miss. I hate to say that racecraft, but
it's like hitting a home run in the ninth inning. It's like getting
amazing.
a touchdown with 2 seconds left. It's like all those things, or hitting a 3-pointer
Yep.
with 1 second left, kind of thing. Like it's pretty amazing to see that in our sport or in the sport of motocross.
Absolutely. I mean, you can hate on him for whatever, but there's a reason why he won a championship.
Dude.
And then these, like what we just saw, that's the exact reason.
If you sat next to him, though, like let's just say you
gosh.
saw him at Applebee's or somewhere like super like ordinary, would you think that he's that like
I don't know. I probably not.
Yeah, when you look at him, he doesn't look like
guess
he's
it.
like that much of an animal, but
Nope.
dude, that's pretty cool.
Yep.
And so I definitely thought it was cool to see all that battling. I kind of was with you about the track. Like, I didn't like that rhythm section that had the kink in it.
Yeah, that was weird.
Because it made it so nobody could pass down the rhythm section. They just followed each other, unless you missed it. There was 2 dudes that missed it one time, and they didn't get that quick like jump off the table onto the next single.
Well, it also gave it that. Actually, Eli got a couple of good passes on that outside in because it gave him that inside for the next, right? But
you're talking about that corner with the elevation?
yeah, the one that
I
the
was
rhythm
talking about
section.
Okay, yeah.
The rhythm section that had the kind of tabletop corner thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's not the one you're talking about?
No, I was talking about the rhythm section. Like, it was just had a little tiny kink in it. So it was a rhythm section that had 9 or 10 jumps in it and a tabletop in the middle that you could apex on the table and shoot off.
Right.
But that one section that you were talking about with the elevated corner, I thought that was actually pretty cool. Because it gave you the ability to, like, there wasn't quite enough of the ability to go in there fast on the inside, but the outside was a passing lane.
Right.
So you couldn't really pass on the inside in that corner, but you could definitely do it on the outside.
Right.
And then, like you said, it set you up because he got 2 or 3 people in that corner.
Yeah,
the next corner.
He definitely had a couple.
So,
yeah, the race was good for sure.
So I think that they're on the right track to getting those tracks tuned up to give everybody a little bit fairer chance. But you bring up a good point, though. They kind of are NASCAR in it and tightening up the field.
I hate to say that
with elements instead of.
I'm a fan, you know. I mean, it doesn't happen in motocross. We'll put it that way.
Well, if you talk about it on the 250 class, not just the big boys, the 250 guys, they had a pretty hard time with that track.
For sure.
Like, they weren't getting over all the rhythm sections near as easy as the 450 guys were.
Right.
And they were having to squeak through some of the stuff and have to change up their lines to make passes.
Yeah, so in that respect, I would say it almost brought back like how it used to be where in the 125 class there was only, you know what I mean, where it was like one triple everybody did, one of them only half the field did kind of thing. So I guess maybe to that point in the 250 class, definitely.
How was it, Pat, from like 10th place on, I wonder?
Yeah.
Like the guys that weren't like Ken Rocks and Eli Tomac. Because that would be a good equalizer to understand that.
It sure seemed like everybody got it, but when it gets that technical, it's really when those surgeons come out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But at the same time, this is where it was good, I would say, is that it got rough too, and all those ruts. And we all know what happens. That's Tomac's stuff.
Yep.
He always shines on that stuff.
Because he can charge through it instead of having to deal with it.
It's almost like I don't even know. Like he doesn't even look at him.
Yeah.
Like I was telling you, I remember I used to have like butterflies in my stomach when I would see a landing with all those lines. Even though you know the one you're going at, it's just like all of a sudden.
Is my back tire going to go in the same place where my eyes are going?
We've all seen those cross rut situations.
Dude, when we were at Eric Anderson and I went up to Seattle to race a Supercross one time. And it was like that, but times 10 because the dirt was so soft.
That place is terrible like that.
I couldn't even ride it. Like, I crashed so many times.
I bet.
I spent all my travel money on bent bars.
I remember you telling me that. Yep.
So, it looks like Cody made some homemade tacos tonight.
Nice.
Jealous, Cody. What's up, Ben? How are you, dude? So, yeah, I truthfully, like, I'm really enjoying the Supercross season. I think it's going awesome. I'd love to see that, like, there's 3 dudes, we'll call it, or 4 dudes, 5 dudes, whatever, that are actually in contention.
It's starting to sort itself out a little bit.
A little bit, but you still have those, like, wild cards, though, too. Like, Jason Anderson is, like, ripping.
Yeah. He's finally starting to get some traction.
Yeah.
But go back to we missed this. Think about the Triple Crown. I'm not a fan of that. But remember what we said 3 weeks ago. Not that we called it. Let's just visit that for a second, revisit it, where we said, everybody was kind of thinking, was that Kenny's breakout? Does he get the monkey off his back and go?
Yeah.
And then the next weekend,
Cleans
he just
house.
dominates.
Yeah. And plus they had 5 starts instead of just 3.
That's exactly what I had said to, I don't know, a couple of my buddies. I was like, well, Tomac had to use 5 starts.
Yep.
And he got 5 good starts.
Yep.
So in my mind, he's got no more left in him for the season. But then
he used them up.
He comes out swinging in Oakland. So there goes that theory. Maybe he's finally got his head straight too. I don't know.
Hopefully Justin Barcia can get it, going again too. He sounded like he went to, this is your guy too. He sounded like he went and did some testing with Ross Mieta of Enzo suspension this past week or so.
Nice while he was out. He definitely showed.
Dude, he rips.
He does, and he's earning my respect a little more than he used to because Bam Bam, and it's not. I don't know. That's too NASCAR for me, I guess. But he's really stepped up and said, hey, I need to earn my ride. And he's proving it. And look at the adversity he faced
I think you
this
can
weekend.
also see a little bit between the lines, though, too. And you can understand, before we talk about the adversity, how hard he's working. Because you can see he's not just talking and relying on talent like somebody named Austin Faulkner, because I don't like the dude.
It rhymes with Faulkner.
Yeah. So anyway, he was that kind of guy before, just talking and relying on talent.
Sure.
But now you can see that he's calmed down and he's more about his actions speak louder than his words.
Absolutely. And to your point, it couldn't be more obvious the urgency. He knows, like, okay, they had that engine problem.
Yeah.
He was running. He was pushing his bike, running immediately, knowing that I got to get this thing back because we don't have a chance. I got to get these mechanics the best chance possible to get this engine swap back in. And what did they make it by a minute or something?
100%.
Pretty awesome.
One of the things that I was also thinking during that situation was when you're a factory rider like that, and this comes from understanding the industry, he doesn't have a choice. That's what they're trained to do. He's told to do that at meetings before the races because hopefully the TV doesn't catch it. The TV obviously caught it, and we all saw it.
Right.
But hopefully they didn't if he was quick enough to beat the camera.
Oh,
because
then
nobody sees that
I
they had
see
a
what you're
mechanical.
saying, that it was a possible.
Right. Then
Yeah.
Then, we just had a mechanical and nobody sees it.
Right.
So it looks much better for the manufacturer in those cases too. So
sure.
You can look at it two ways. He was he wanted to charge and do his own thing, but he also has an obligation to be able to protect his job.
Right. That's a good point.
So, but kudos to him though. Coming back, winning that last chance qualifier and doing so well in the main event, that was pretty sick.
Definitely.
I love seeing stories like that or seeing things pan out like that because it just shows how much those dudes actually really do care about what they're doing.
Oh, yeah.
He could have just gave up and said, screw it, I'm going back to the truck.
Or the other thing is he's handing it off to the mechanic to push it or some Yamaha team guy to do it. But no, he's like, I got to get this thing there.
Exactly.
So that's more I took out of it. I totally agree with what you're saying, but
and like us being like he's got a factory mechanic or stuff, but like when we were doing a privateer style, so like we had like maybe like Joe Whining could help us or your dad or somebody to help us, right? They were saying that's the run out of the stadium was like so that mechanic must have been so tired.
Totally.
So I think that's pretty cool. Like I bet you they were giving him shit afterwards too. Like, come on, let's go.
Imagine what that does to the body too, because he still has to go make it happen.
Yeah.
So he was basically running a moto, right?
Exactly.
Full sprint.
And then they got 10 guys working on the bike to get it all fixed up. But kudos to all those guys, man. That was awesome that they all got it done.
For sure.
Robbie Hornsby said he missed it last weekend. Sorry, dude. We just had a spoiler alert, bro.
Uh-oh.
All right, so.
Well, we didn't say who won.
Yeah, so don't tell him.
Okay, no spoiler.
Yeah, there was 3 dudes that were up there, Robbie.
Somebody won.
Yep. Some dude on a dirt bike. So the other event that happened this past weekend was King of the Hammers. And I'm not super familiar with it, but it sounds like you know a little bit about it.
I know a little bit because of how the scale stuff, the RC stuff kind of mimics it a little bit.
Oh, okay.
And it sure seems to be a good mix of desert and rock crawling.
Yeah.
So
and they have a little infield, like they call it a short course too.
Right. So what's cool to me is that it's kind of a round robin. I'm sure we'll hear better from the guys who do this, but I take it as there's a lot of respect there in my eyes because now you're juggling 3 disciplines that are very specific to now make them all kind of work in each one.
Yeah,
that's pretty awesome.
You have to be pretty well-rounded as a driver and as a setup and mechanic too.
All the above. The team aspect in that is
so for any of the audience that doesn't know what King of the Hammers is, it's a race that's in Johnson Valley, California, and that's it's kind of, I would say, like a little bit northwest of Palm Springs. So
Okay.
it's in the full-on desert, like Joshua Tree National Forest, and
Right.
so they race in a dry lake bed is where they all camp, and they race kind of around there, but they go through these like super crazy rock sections. Like, in fact, we should show a video where we talk about it. So some of the stuff is just insane. We'll show a video and for the people that are listening on iTunes, you won't be able to see the video, but we'll talk about it, and you can go back. But like, they go up these crazy rock sections, and these UTVs have a really like not difficult time, but it's really difficult for them to go up because they have such short wheelbase. They don't have a lot of ground clearance, so a lot of them will have issues. And then one of the guys that was out there, his name's Kyle Chaney. He's like a woods racer from back east. He went there and he had some issues. He tipped over, and then him and his co-driver were actually pushing the car back over and had an incident where the car started rolling away, and Kyle Chaney, the driver, got run over by the car and hurt his foot. They thought he might have broke his foot, but the car came to a rest like at the bottom of a hill, and I don't know how he did it because it was so steep, but you can watch in the video he kind of slips down on his butt to get back to the car, probably because his foot hurt and because of the actual.
That's it right there.
Yeah, exactly. So,
ouch.
It's pretty crazy, and then he just kind of like goes down on his butt and it just makes it down. But
look at
the
that thing.
awesomest part is that he got back in the car with his driver after doing all that. Like, let's just say this is 10-15 minutes of actual work to get it.
Right.
He came back and finished second.
Wow, that's awesome.
Like, the adversity, like, to go through and to do that, like, you got to persevere hardcore to be able to, like, really get that done.
Can you imagine the race story in the next 5 years, 10 years, whatever? Dude, you beat me, but I ran myself over.
I know. That would be pretty gnarly. And the people are going to be like, oh, my gosh, man. Right. But so that was really, really crazy to see that. The guys in Can-Am, they got all three top positions. So they got first, second, and third. Hunter Miller got first. The second position went to Kyle Chaney, like we just said. And third was Phil Blurton, which is a desert racer. And one of the guys that I actually wanted to see do well, they call him six-time like Jeff Stanton, but his name is Mitch Guthrie Sr. He actually ended up fourth, and he drives a Polaris RZR. Awesome. But I would have liked to have him do a little bit better. His son actually won the past, I think, 2 years in a row.
Oh,
so
really?
Mitch Guthrie Jr., yeah. So,
nice.
And Mitch actually did the car rally this year. There was tons of people in here. I'm looking at the results sheet right now, and I think there was maybe just under 200 drivers actually that were all out there. So it shows.
That's a pretty good turnout.
Yeah, 135, 136 or so. But can you imagine having that many people on a course like that? So what happens if the fifth place guy gets stuck? Then everybody else is stuck behind him.
Yeah, it's kind of like watching some of that hard enduro stuff we were talking about with Ryan Sipes, where you see that and the one guy gets through it, but then the next guy screws up, and now there's a whole log jam.
Big old chain of events. Hi, Lena. It's nice to see you tonight. Thanks, Alfonso, for tuning in, too. Yeah, that back door was intense, man. So back door is a section of King of the Hammers that I think this is the section that he's talking about, where it's basically this drop-off. Like, you remember the cliff jumps that we used to do when it goes back? Like, you'd go up and you go back and you push your bike. Like, it's kind of like that. So you take your UTV and you fall off of it. And so the only way to actually do it is you got to be on the gas and have it in four-wheel drive so the front can pull you out and then, like, land. Nice. So there was tons of people that were having issues there, man. It looked pretty intense, dude. Alfonso asked how the Talon guys do. I think they got a 17th and a 26th, I think, but Casey and I were actually talking about this before the show. Being a new vehicle and being the first year coming out, you got to just respect them for actually being able to finish, because that's not an easy task.
Right.
So a lot of those guys that are out there doing this thing have a lot of experience. The cars have a lot of miles in testing and doing all these development things to be able to accomplish what they're doing. And a lot of the guys lean on each other to be able to manage their own race program. So kudos to those guys for doing so well. The Yamaha guys, they did well too. CJ and Johnny Greaves and all those guys. I mean, you really can't gauge the position Like, I mean, if you win, cool. That's awesome. Top 3, bitching, whatever. But
Definitely.
every single person out there, winner or not, had an issue.
Oh, yeah, you have to.
Right.
Look, did you see that one flipping down the –
Exactly. And so those guys were all bottlenecked, like what you said.
Right.
One guy flipped down. Now everybody's bottlenecked even more. So whether it's your issue by getting a flat tire or somebody else's issue and you just have to wait,
right.
That's
Yeah,
just the way it goes. Yeah.
Right.
So qualifying super important at those races. But
Definitely.
one thing that I wanted to talk about was these races, like, in my opinion, are so cool. Like, I don't have any ambition to go on the rocks and drive. Like, it doesn't interest me whatsoever.
Right.
But the camaraderie, all the people around, people helping, like, there's people up there, like, helping, like, your co-driver winches you up. Like,
Yeah, that's cool.
There was guys that were actually holding on to a strap while they went down that back door thing, holding on to a strap with standing behind the car so that when it went down, they could pull it a little bit when it was free in the air.
That's cool. And that's all allowed, obviously.
But imagine that. Like, it's
well, I mean, there's people, just random people that are there to do that, right?
Yeah, so like
that's what I mean. That's
we were talking about bicycle racing a couple shows ago, and people go out and they hand you a water or whatever, right?
Right.
So
or beer.
It's or a beer. Oh no, it's hydration.
Right.
Some hydration.
It just shows that there's enough people that are that into it.
Not to mention that are that into it, but that are that willing to help.
Right.
Like, that's what I got from it. When I saw it, and I was thinking to myself, so there's a whole dry lake bed. I don't know how many miles this dry lake bed is or square miles it is, and it's full of people.
That's cool.
All of these
out in the
people,
middle of nowhere, basically.
and all of these people are wanting to do this.
That's cool.
So let's just say there's 10 to 20% of them actually are driving a vehicle.
Right.
The rest of them, the 80-90% of them, are all out there to just have fun and help.
Yeah, that's what I mean. When you talk to the community, off-road community, camaraderie, that's what I'm saying. They're out there getting. I don't know what the weather was like, but we'll just say they're out
It
in the
was chilly
sun.
like this, yeah.
They're out in the weather, whatever, and they're hanging out and just ready to throw that hook on. You know what I mean? And help. That's pretty cool.
So one of the things that I thought was okay. So let's just say that there's 80% of the people out there willing to help. What if that 80% is just out there to party?
Yeah.
Like Red Bud and 4th of July, going in Lot B, and they're all just like going crazy out there.
Right.
So I think that would be pretty cool to go out there and experience that. So maybe in the following years or the coming years, the Dirt Life can go out there and hang out with some of those people. There's
on episode 295 or something.
Exactly. And I wanted to thank the guys at UTV Guide. They're the ones that got those videos. So we borrowed those videos from you guys, so thank you guys very much. If you guys get a chance, go over to at UTV Guide on Instagram and check them out. So thank you guys very much for sharing those videos with everybody. So I personally thought the King of the Hammers was super cool. I wanted to get a little bit more understanding of what it is. I've seen it a bunch of times, but I've never really looked into it. Like, it didn't interest me to drive through the rocks, so I kind of skipped over it. But now after seeing all of it, I kind of like it, it's kind of like the same feeling I got when you were telling me about these bicycle races, the mountain bike races that you were doing, like they're super out in the middle of nowhere. You have a team of people, like, what is it, the relay one that you guys do?
Yeah, it's actually in 2 weeks.
That's coming up that quick?
Yeah, the 24-hour. The same thing. There's thousands of people that go out in the middle of nowhere, and it's just a giant, like you said, it's just that community. Everybody's into it. They're just hanging out, and everybody's willing to help.
Yep.
There's that many thousands of people, and there's, beers involved every now and again, and there's never been a fight.
That's so cool.
That's pretty cool.
Because everybody's out there doing what they love.
They're just doing what they love, yep.
I remember going and checking it out with my buddy Jeff Angel last year, and I couldn't believe it because you drive out in the middle of nowhere, and then all of a sudden there's just like
it's amazing. It's its
city.
own little city, like you're saying, with this. I bet that looks funny, that
in the lake
dry
bed,
lake bed, and all of a sudden, hey, what is this?
It's just like some of the
Pretty
pictures
cool.
from the drones at night, like it was just like you could see a haze of dust.
Yep.
And then just like lights everywhere.
Right.
So
and it's not like you're not gonna get the casual observer that like, hey, what's that sign? Let's go check it out. No, it's like people went there knowing that it was there, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, exactly. The exact opposite of you like driving down the street and seeing a soccer game at a park.
Right, or a drag strip or whatever. What's in here?
Yeah, exactly.
Dedication for sure.
So definitely go and check out those guys, the UTV Guide. You want to do? Should we wait till after commercial, or you want to do that giveaway right now? Let's just do it right now.
Sounds good.
All right. So we are giving away. We posted, what was it, a week and a half ago, that we were going to give away the 7075 billet aluminum Zollinger Racing Products radius rods for a Polaris Razor Turbo S. And I think my numbers might be wrong. I think it's a 74-inch wide. Yeah, anyways, so we're going to have one lucky winner, and we're going to do this full random. So let's see here. Let me set this up for you, Case. We're going to get it off of Instagram. So everybody commented and liked the photo. Let's see here. So I got the post up right now. So why don't you just flip through this? Let's view all the comments so we can give everybody a chance to make sure that they win. Oh, yeah. There was so there's 81 comments. So let's just say that there's 50 or so people that are going to win. So why don't you scroll through it, pick it, and then show it to me, and we'll get it full random.
A 1 in 81 chance. Ready?
Yeah, exactly. Let's see here. Oh, it was almost landed on Adam Grunder, but Razor Junkie. So
nice.
Razor Junkie, which is
that's a perfect name.
Yeah, exactly. So JP, Razor Junkie, you're the winner of the Zollinger Racing Products Build Aluminum Radius rods, bud. So hit us up on social media. Log into Instagram and send us a message, dude, so we can get all your info and send you these bad boys. Thank you very, very much to the guys, Travis Zollinger and all his homies over there, or all his employees over there, for being such awesome dudes, giving this away. These things are worth $950, dude.
They're awesome.
Crazy. Yeah.
Awesome looking.
But you can see why they're worth that much money, because they're bitching.
They are.
So,
awesome.
Yeah, one of our audience members chimed in and was actually a couple people did, but Alfonso chimed in and said he has a Yamaha YXZ, and he goes, if I win them, I'm just going to get a Polaris instead because these are so cool.
They're so nice. I'll just change cars.
Yeah. So I'm just going to get these instead. Like
nice.
if the wheels don't fit and they're the best ones, you just switch the car out.
Yeah. That's awesome.
So yeah. So JP, Razor Junkie, you're the winner, bud. Good job.
Nice.
I don't know how many comments he put in there, but I said you could do as many as you want. So as long as you listen to the video, you could get in there and strategically place yourself. And obviously he did a good job. So
what you're saying is it pays to comment.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, so comment right now. Who knows what'll happen? But I actually really did like doing this giveaway. It was cool because you could see the whole process go through. You know what I mean? Like I was able to talk to the Zollinger guys, and we're actually going to be doing some more stuff with them too. So doing the social media thing, having everybody like the show, and it was actually cool too because there was a few people that actually liked and stayed with the Dirt Life. So it's nice to get that exposure too with from the Zollinger guys. So I'm super stoked on the way that it worked, and I'm happy that we're giving them away to one of our audience members.
Yeah, so, and give, like you said, give back to a loyal listener, watcher, follower. That's awesome.
Yeah, exactly. So hopefully he stays. He doesn't just bail out.
He gets his
he gets his radius rods. It just takes off. So it'll be cool to send those to him. Actually, you know what we should get? And I don't know what it just says JP on Instagram, so I don't know his name. So you have to tell us his name. But JP, you'll have to tell us, like, take some pictures of it after you put them on your car, and show us how they like fit and the fit and finish and stuff, and then. Show us a picture of your car, man. That'll be pretty bitchin'. So, JP, hit us up, man.
Hopefully he doesn't have to buy a car first.
Yeah, hopefully he's already got the Razor. Yeah, and definitely don't lie to me. When you hit me up on Instagram or hit us up on Instagram, make sure that you actually have the car. Otherwise, I'm giving them to somebody else. So, but it was pretty cool to see it all, pan out. So I really liked it. And the Zollinger guys sent us another, it's like a motor cover. I forgot what it was, but we'll have to look at it. I'm going to bring it in next week or the following week. It is insane cool. Like the amount of machine work that goes into this thing. It's like, remember when we used to like look at all the factory dirt bike parts and we just like start drooling over them? This is that same drool effect.
Remember back in the day when it was a Boysen cover?
Oh, dude, the Boysen cover was like
so long
chump change compared to this.
So long.
So those Zollinger guys are doing an amazing job.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you very much. So it's already 6:30 Ryan's time. So let's take a commercial break, and we will be right back with Ryan Edwards of KMC Wheels. We'll see you guys in just a sec.
Introducing Rigid's new SRL Series light bar. Featuring a sleek 20-inch curved housing, ultra-wide forward projecting beam pattern, and a unique halo backlight feature offered in 4 color options. The SRL Series light bar's new optic combination projects light over 70 degrees wide, with more than enough distance to safely drive in low visibility conditions, making it the perfect lighting solution for most applications. The halo backlight feature is offered in red, white, blue, or amber, and is wired independently from the forward projecting light. Instantly transition from style to function with the flip of a switch, making it easier than ever to own the night.
Zollinger Racing builds the best aftermarket products available. Products for your UTV or snowmobile, including billet radius rods, billet tie rods, billet steering knuckles, billet steering racks, alternator kits, and much more. All manufactured in the United States in-house at their headquarters in Nibley, Utah. Travis Zollinger and his team test in some of the most brutal conditions, racing in places like the Best in the Desert Mint 400, Ultra 4 King of the Hammers, UTV World Championships, and many more. Visit ZollingerRacingProducts.com and use the code DIRTLIFE to get 10% off your next purchase, and join us on social media at Zollinger Racing Products to see our products in action. Zollinger Racing, the best products, period.
Hello, I'm Justin, the founder of Shock Therapy. Shock Therapy has been around for 5 years, but we have personally been tuning suspension on off-road cars and race vehicles for over 25 years. We tune between 10 and 15 cars per day, every single day of the week. Our concentration is tuning shock systems and supplying components that improve the ride quality of your car in many ways. Not only do we work on the average UTV, but we also tune suspension for race teams and professional drivers. We currently tune for over 87 race teams in Best in the Desert and Score. Our clients and race teams rely on our suspension components to allow them to win races and keep them safe. Suspension is a moving target. We are always trying to hit that target with every customer that we work with. Each customer's needs can be different, and we tune our kits accordingly. Our research and development never stops. We improve our components every single day. As the industry evolves and improves, so do our parts and kits. As of right now, we have over 100 products for UTVs. So when you bring your car to us, you have the satisfaction of knowing that you have the most experience, the highest quality products, and the fact that your car is being tuned specifically to you.
Hey guys, George Hamill here to talk to you about one of our sponsors, Solder Weld. Who is Solder Weld, and what is their impact on the off-road community? Well, some of you may have seen Solder Weld's booths at the races, Mint 400, Vegas to Reno, Score and Snore events, and the UTV World Championship. You're seeing their stickers and sponsor wraps on more and more racers' vehicles every year. But who are they, and what do they have to offer us as off-road enthusiasts? Well, late last year, Solder Weld introduced their new off-road repair kit to the off-road industry and sold out their first week. The interest was overwhelming, as many off-roaders already knew of Solder Weld's aluminum radiator repair rods, and now they were included in a convenient carry kit in camo or black. If you're a racer of any type or off-road enthusiast like myself, you're going to want to take a close look at this product. Solder Weld has combined some of their most elite products into one small kit that fits perfectly under your seat or strapped into your roll cage and allows you to make some insane fixes anywhere you go. How many of us have been in a race or out on the trail and got a rock chip in a radiator or a brake line? We've literally seen a top-tier desert race truck at the 2019 Mint 400 taken out by a simple rock to the radiator. If they would have had an off-road repair kit on board, they could have been back up and running in just a minute. The kit includes everything you need to work on dirty aluminum, stainless steel, copper, and many other metals. Solderwell's cutting-edge technology allows you to make these fixes with extremely low heat and incredible high tensile strength, leaving you with a lasting fix every time. Don't be that guy who broke down on the side of the trail. Get your off-road repair kit today. Your friends will thank you. Yeah. Welcome back. We are stoked. So stoked. Fresh out of KOH, we got Ryan Edwards on the line. What's up, Ryan?
Sweet.
Happening.
How was it out there, dude? You said super dusty?
Yeah, dusty. The wind started coming in yesterday. I heard it got pretty aggressive, so I bailed out, came home for a day.
Right on. Yeah, so you get to take a little break, visit with the family, hang out?
Yep.
How nice is that
go
first
right
shower?
back to it. Go right back to it tomorrow.
What were you saying, Case?
How nice is that first shower home?
Oh, it's amazing. Because the trailer shower never does anything for
No,
you.
of course not.
You got to do it super quick, and it's always super cold.
Yep.
That's
Never impressed with that one.
Nope.
And especially if you have the girls with you, the girls always seem to use up as much, so the guys are left with like super low water, like 15-second
Right.
showers.
I did it how you taught me.
Yeah, they use all the hot water too.
Right.
So you got to take a shower first, babe? Yeah, okay, I'll go second. Fine.
Nope. I might as well not take one.
Well, so for our audience, thank you very much for joining us, Ryan. Ryan is the brand manager at KMC Wheels. He was out at King of the Hammers this past weekend, and it sounds like you got to go back, huh?
Yeah, go back, do a little trophy truck action, make sure all our racers and stuff are ready to rip.
Right on, man. How was it this past couple days? Like, did you guys have some pretty good luck out there?
Yeah, we Mitch Guthrie Sr. got 4th, and then Casey Curry with the 6th. So it was pretty impressive. I mean, the car count that finished the UTV race was the most impressive thing. We went from like 5 finishers only a couple years ago to now like I think 30 finishers.
Oh my God! So to me, only 30 finishers. That's still great, but
Right? Yeah, there was 130 entered.
so that means 100 cars didn't fit. That's what we were talking about, dude.
Right.
Holy smokes!
I remember we went
Right.
out to California and we're talking to Casey Curry and he was mentioning
Yeah.
this, this King of the Hammers. Oh, what's that? And then when he explained it, it was like, wow, that's pretty insane. But the more I look into it and the more I hear about it, it's pretty awesome.
Dude,
It's
Yeah,
insane.
it's wild.
Have you done any of that course? Like, have you driven on it? Like, gone up those rocks and shit?
I mean, I've been there. I honestly, I love my car too much to put it through that.
I don't blame you.
If
Yeah.
it's somebody else's, I might do it.
Lucretia said, "Hi George, hi Ryan."
Oh, hey, what up?
Yeah. So a lot of those guys actually did pretty good. Your drivers, one of my that's near and dear to my heart is obviously Casey Curry. Casey actually helped me get into off-road way back in the day. I think it was 2010 or 2012 when I was first thinking about off-road. I actually did a bunch of digital media work for him, and he let me sit down in his Pro Light and cruise out there, and that's what got me hooked. I just couldn't afford the truck, so I got a UTV instead.
Way too expensive.
But that was cool. So you guys have been partners for a long time, I'm sure, huh?
Yeah, Casey and KMC go way back. I've known Casey for a while too. We grew up in the same area, so high schools and stuff like that always intertwined. So
Right
him
on.
and his brother Cody. Yeah, we've gone way back. I know a couple of mechanics and everything.
Both of those guys are super good dudes. So where did you grow up then? You grew up in Southern California?
Yeah, Orange County, Yorba Linda area. Went to Esperanza High School. Born and raised, still living here.
I feel like
Can't leave for some reason.
all kinds of dudes that we know grew up there. The Wolfpack guys, like Jordan.
Yep.
Jordan, everybody worked all over there, man.
I feel like
It's
at
a
some point,
hotbed for off-road, I guess.
I feel like at some point we were all on the same motocross track at some point or another. You know what I mean?
I
We
feel
had to
like
have
it.
been.
Because there's so much, like you said, it mixes so much.
Did you grow up riding dirt
I
bikes?
think about that all the time. I mean, a lot of these guys I've met nowadays, I'm like, dude, I remember you from 15 years ago when I was
Right.
just a punk at the moto track.
Right.
Like,
Right.
it's crazy.
Yeah, that is kind of crazy to think about. Like now that we're all old guys, the off-road with 4 wheels.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is kind of crazy to think. Like little kids don't pay attention, so maybe we just didn't see each other or something.
Right.
So you grew up riding dirt bikes then, huh?
Yeah. I started riding dirt bikes around 8 years old, and then started racing, 16, 17. And then it took over my life. That's what got me into the UTV industry. I started work at Pro Circuit. I was just a counter helper, and then worked my way up, and now I'm a brand manager, which is still crazy to say.
Well, good, dude. Yeah, kudos to you. We'll definitely get into that because I definitely want to hear about that. I love hearing the stories of hard work like that. Like we said it at last show or something, but just like Drake says, started from the bottom, now we're at the top.
Yeah, it's crazy how it all works into place.
It really teaches you a lot, though, and that's the reason that we started the Dirt Life show is because we want to hear those stories. Like, we go talk about this stuff all the time, and not to get too far into detail, but, like, we grew up in dirt. We didn't have pavement, so we would, like, build our own little jumps. We didn't have a bicycle track you could go pay $5 to ride. Like, we had to do it all on our own, and then, like, all of a sudden, you're, like, we're, 20 years, 30 years later, whatever it is, and we're like, dang, man, like, it really did teach me how to, like, move through like jobs and positions, like all kinds of stuff.
Totally agree.
It's crazy how it all relates back to itself.
Exactly. So what did you do racing motocross? Did you have sponsorships and did you get championships and stuff? Or?
Mostly just doing it all myself. I've just loved every second of being on a dirt bike. I went to high school, graduated high school, and then instead of pursuing college and stuff like that, I just started working my ass off and just to pay for racing, really.
Same
and
story.
Then, it just, you make a decision and it's like, I'm just going to run with it. And now look at me, it paid off. I'm where I want to be and I'm doing what I want to do. So I don't regret anything I ever did.
So it sounds like you get to still be out on the dirt bike a little bit then too.
I get to be on the dirt bike. I'm racing the Mint 400. I get to do everything I want to do.
You're going to race the Mint on 2 wheels?
Yeah, we're gonna race the dual sport class. Gotta get my title from James Hill over there at IMG because he won the dual sport class last year, and I'm gonna beat him this year.
Yeah, I heard that dude's been slacking too, so I think you wax him.
Yeah. No, he's been too caught up with his new house he bought, so I think he's got a beer belly on him already.
Right on. James is awesome, dude. That's gonna be cool, man. So, like, how much is the training for that event? Like, do you guys have to put a lot of work into being able to do that?
Last year, dude, I did it just pretty much straight off the couch because I got a wild hair. I bought a 450X, and me and my buddy Dougie decided to do it. And we were out there, and I'm like, dude, this is so much fun. So this year, we're actually putting in the work, doing some local SRA Grand Prix and stuff like that, just trying to get our stamina up.
How'd you guys end up last year?
Most of it's just we got second behind James, so that's why I signed up this year.
Nice.
So you can see the competition brewing there.
Redemption year.
Oh yeah. Well, now I got probably 8 other buddies signing up for the same class, so it's gonna be fun.
I think he's having those guys sign up for the class so he can put some guys in between him and
Nice.
James. Like they always have
them.
Some team riding.
What do you think about the stuff that happened at Supercross this weekend? Like we're talking about winning, so Cooper Webb's pass and things like that.
Dude, that shit was wild. I mean, Tomac is what surprised me. Like, I was waiting for him to put on that charge, 2 rounds ago.
Right.
And it just all of a sudden just sparked in him and went.
Yeah, exactly.
But obviously I'm a Barsha and Plessinger guy since that's our team, but I think Barsha's going to come right back too, so it's going to be rad.
We definitely want to see him. I actually have a really, special piece of my heart goes out to that guy too because I'm friends with his trainer, Tom Danielson, and Tom's a super good dude. And so I definitely want to see Justin do well too, man, because I know how much effort he's been putting into it. Like Casey and I were actually talking about Justin earlier. To see him come back and just show his actions speak so much louder than his words.
Absolutely.
Well, yeah, I mean, at one point he was doing a privateer deal, 2 or 3 years ago, and now he's back full factory Yamaha. So it was so rad to see him win the first one out, and I just want to see that keep going.
Did you help do that deal with KMC and with the team, or was that before you?
That was already put in place, but it was pretty rad because first race out, one of the first events I go to was A1 with KMC, and man, I full factory tour, talking to Barsha, just standing there touching his bike and stuff. Like, it was a dream come true.
Dude, just probably seeing those bikes up close is probably super cool.
Nice.
I
mean, I take pride in all my dirt bikes, but those things are another level.
Yeah, like spit shined, literally.
Yeah, that detail's insane.
Yeah.
That's pretty rad, though, that you got to have the star treatment.
Yeah, and it's show up, kickbacks, hang in the lounge area, whatever I want to do. And it's I still to this day, I walk up to the pits and stand on the outside, and they're like, no, come inside. I'm like, oh, wait, I'm supposed to do that.
That's cool. I like the modesty, too. That's cool. You're still staying humble, too.
Pinch yourself.
Yeah, no, you catch yourself real quick.
What do you guys usually do for fun? Obviously you go to the races.
Dude, that's just dirt bikes and UTVs and anything that has to do with the desert is my life. I mean, my son, who's 2 years old now, I think he's been to more off-road and dirt bike races than most kids his age. So that's our passion. And really, I mean, that's why I'm doing what I'm doing.
Your wife enjoys going to do with that stuff too?
She loves it. She almost gets mad when she can't take time off work to come with us.
How about you guys go to the dunes and just go on trail rides and stuff too?
Yeah. We as a family, we go out to Pirates Cove and stuff like that, do some rides out there. Glamis, Ocotillo's been the place to go for me since, I was a little kid. So I just keep doing that stuff all the time.
Well, where are you living now? Is it closer down south?
Nope, I'm still right here in York, Belinda.
Oh, sweet, man. That's pretty cool because it's not that far to Ocotillo. What is it, 2 hours?
No, we got maybe 2 hours max.
Yeah, that's sweet, man. I'd probably be out at Ocotillo all the time. That Pirates Cove place that he's talking about is super cool. That's in Havasu, right?
Yeah, it's in Needles, but I mean, the trails out there, it's 2,500 acres of trails or something like that. It's insane.
I wish that some of the guys from Southern California could come down here to Southern Arizona where we have, because it's unlimited. First of all, you can drive your UTV from your garage out, and
something we don't even get.
It's super cool. You can go check the mail in your UTV kind of thing, and then there's so many trails. Casey and I actually went and taught his daughter a little bit about how to drive a UTV, and we just left from the back of the house, and there's all kinds of trails. There's a mini moto track right behind the house. It's fun.
That's so awesome. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get out there soon.
It's definitely fun. Do you guys have any events coming up in Arizona?
What's the next event out that way? We had the Parker 250, 425.
It's probably a short course deal.
Yeah, short course, and then the Offroad Expo's out there.
Oh, right on. So let's get into your life a little bit about your business acumen, we'll call it. So you started out working at Pro Circuit, and then where'd you go from there?
So Pro Circuit, worked there for about 3 years, I think, and then I went to ITP as a customer service rep, just answering phone calls, and that was right as the Yamaha Rhino started getting really big. And at the time, ITP was the leader in sport quad tires, race tires. I mean, they were on all the factory teams. So when I came in, nobody wanted to deal with the UTV stuff, so I kind of picked that up and then slowly became the go-to guy for UTV and UTV racing.
I feel like that was probably a super good, not only a learning curve, but a growth platform, because at that point, it's nobody knows about it really. It's the beginning. You're just breeding a whole new industry.
Open, right? That's cool.
Yeah, no, I was almost right place, right time, but at the same time, I was eager to, racing dirt bikes off road the whole time. I always wanted to transition into racing a truck. So what's the easiest thing? A long travel Yamaha Rhino. So I thought it was pretty badass. And, back then UTVs didn't have the stature they do today, but, I signed the first contract with the Murrays, almost 10 years ago now, and
dang,
they're still on ITV tires. So it's the evolution which caught me, but yeah, I turned into the UTV race support guy, and man, I was there for the first 28-inch tire, 30-inch tire, and 32-inch tire. So the evolution I was there for the whole thing. So it was just cool to be involved with that. And then, you know, ITP kind of moved their whole operation to the East Coast. So I was left without a job out here. And within a month after that, I got a job at Raceline, just based off of my UTV experience.
Right on, man. I saw somebody that was using 40-inch or 42-inch tires or something like that on a Can-Am at the Hammers, just like.
Oh, yeah. No, it's like Kyle Chaney, who got third, I think, was on 35s.
How is that possible? Do you have to use gear reduction in the spindles?
Seems like you would.
I know. I think they're doing like gear reduction in the actual transmission, and then obviously clutching.
And it doesn't break the axles?
I guess not, man. They've got it figured out because those dudes were on one.
Yeah, we showed a video earlier of Kyle Chaney, and like he actually, they tipped over and he got out of the car to put the car back on its wheels.
Crazy.
Oh man, I saw that. That was gnarly.
Yeah, did you see him? He got run over.
That's insane.
Yeah. I went right over his leg, right?
Yeah, I mean, like that hits home to me because he got up and finished second. I was like, hell yeah, dude, that guy's badass.
Dude, yeah, brought it right home.
So when you were in the beginning with ITP and stuff, is that when did you already know James from before that, or
no? So that's another cool story. Is when I worked at Pro Circuit, Sarah Price was 12, 13 years old. And riding 85s, I'm like, dude, this girl rips. So I started going to the track with her and riding 110s. And then a couple years go by, I get a job at ITP. And then Sarah's like, hey, I got this boyfriend you need to meet. I'm like, all right, cool. And it was James. And now we've been friends ever since. So
yeah, that's rad because he was talking about the old long travel Rhino days too.
Yeah, no, and it was cool because Sarah was just like, hey, he's got a UTV shop. And I'm like, well, I'm trying to push all these UTV tires. And, every brand I've worked for, I've used him as my go-to guy to get the word out there about the product. And almost like a R&D guy, I send him all the new product. He tests it because he bashes on everything he owns. So
he's one of those dudes that rips off all the graphics in like 2 minutes on his dirt bike.
He can break a wrecking ball, as they say.
Yeah, and then he spray paints numbers on it or something stupid. But
so you're getting a quality test session out of him.
Yeah, exactly.
Bitchin'. Oh, who's your favorite band then? Because we asked him the same question.
I'm a huge Misfits fan, and James is on the NOFX kick, but we go back and forth with all the punk rock bands.
Yeah, I can be on the fence with all those guys too. I still like Minor Threat and those guys too. But I'm super down with the Misfits because they've actually been one of my clients for the past 10 years. So I've been doing all their
That's so rad.
Digital media, and so the Misfits and the Ramones are all Misfits records. So we've been helping those guys.
Well, yeah, I did a rip on the Ramones logo with the Raceline logo not too long ago, and
oh, perfect.
That went over pretty huge.
Yeah, I love those little like collabs and stuff that people do.
That's cool.
Super neat to see.
Yeah.
Dude, I should show you some of my collection some of the vinyl and stuff that they've sent me. It's like so awesome to be able to be like one of the people that holds onto those.
Yeah.
All that stuff inspires still to this day, like my graphics kits, helmet paint jobs. Like, I don't know if you saw my new KMC wrap. It's like just super aggressive and just punk rock. Like, I mean, that's what I grew up listening to. So I put it back into everything I'm doing.
It goes back to the same stuff that we were talking about earlier. Like, we've seen each other at the track. I guarantee all of us were sitting at home on Friday night watching Crusty Demons and all these different videos.
Probably.
100%.
Like, at the same time.
Probably.
We were doing watch parties on Facebook. We would watch parties on VHS Crusty.
Dude,
right.
Watch parties on VHS. I'm going to start saying that.
There we
So
go.
funny.
That's bitching. Yeah, so I'm sure we've crossed two-wheel paths at some point. I was going to ask you too, like, so do you still have your dual sport bike or your?
Yeah. So we're going to race that at the Mint. I bought the 250 I'm on right now just to be a training bike, go to the track and
is that 2-stroke or a 4-stroke?
252 stroke.
Dude.
Sweet.
Yeah. So I heard.
I picked it up for $2,000, man, and I just take it to the track, change the oil, and just keep going. Like, it's so simple. I love it.
Do you remember just cleaning power valves? It was so easy compared to all the new stuff.
Yeah, if you think about it now. Bro.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It makes it so much easier.
Next level.
So I had a meeting with one of my buddies at KTM when I was out in Temecula last week, and he was saying that they have a 300, I think, that's a fuel-injected two-stroke.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I
That's
heard that
cool.
thing's amazing to ride.
Dude, how
Yep.
sweet would that be to ride? No
I've
bog?
heard the same.
Like,
oh yeah, that's
No
gotta just
bog,
be
all throttle
perfect.
response.
It's gotta be just perfect.
Yeah.
I wonder how light they are, like how nimble they are, like if they would be good for off-road stuff.
Well, I just going from the 450X to this 250, I feel like I'm riding a freaking mountain bike.
That's actually a good point. I wonder if well, I'm thinking in my head, actually, this was one of the things that I was going to ask you or see if you wanted to do it, was we're going to go on an off-road tour across America on the Trans-America Trail. And we're going to do that in September of this year. So it's going to be from Oregon all the way to South Carolina. We're going to kind of go down through Utah and across the middle of the country and stuff. So it's just off-road the whole way across America. So people can join in and have fun, like just on little sprints or whatever. But we're going to visit a bunch of dealerships and have media days and like all kinds of fun stuff. But I want to get as many people involved as possible. So it'd be fun if you could cruise with us on part of it.
Oh, that's 100% up my alley. I'm in on that.
We'll get you, James. We'll get. We should get. You went riding with Paul. He has my old bike.
Yeah, Paul Vitale or whatever.
Yeah, I don't know how to pronounce his last name, but he has. That's my that's my 450L.
Yeah, we just went on a ride with him not too long ago, and I recognized it right away because of the Yosh pipe and everything.
Yeah, and we welded our own bung in there to get to put that sensor for the air fuel and stuff like that. So we'll have to go back. Like I'll have a different bike, and then I'll have that bike, and we'll all have to go across the country.
That'd be rad.
It seems like there should be some kind of award or something for the oldest piece of junk bike that makes it, right?
Dude. Yeah, but then you're going to
Just
get
keep
dudes that are going to
passing
go
it.
out there and kill themselves on it, man.
Or the Craigslist bike.
There you go, perfect.
Dude,
Perfect.
You gotta ride it straight after you buy it.
And you can't spend more than
No
like
prep.
$500
Okay,
or
so
something, $1,000.
First of all, I love this idea, but I'm thinking in the back of my head that this fucker, whoever rides it, is going to be like the one that drags the whole crew back, and we can't
this is
like
true.
wait.
Yeah, we'll have to be working on it the whole time.
You're probably right.
So I want to have a couple of UTVs following us as chase or something, so
Good idea.
we can just throw his piece
Yeah,
of junk
there
on the
you go,
back when it
spares.
breaks down, and then just
Right.
have him ride in the UTV.
It's funny.
But yeah, I think it would be super cool, man. It'd be rad to get you guys involved and get everybody to go across the country. And even if you can't make it all the way across the country, just do a little stint, dude. I think it'd be super
In a
fun.
couple days, yeah.
Yeah.
Just to see some different riding areas.
And who knows what they have? Like, I'm still like a little bit nervous because I have no idea like what comes up. We were just talking about like the difference in how ruts are in Oakland compared to Southern California on a supercross track.
Right.
What are we going to get into riding across the
Yeah.
freaking country?
Right. Wildlife.
Yeah, you're gonna see some
Weather.
weird shit.
I wonder if we're going to get into
Yeah,
KOH
weather
type
for
shit.
one.
So
Yeah.
I talked to a few dudes that did that ride across the country, and they were saying like you got to have all the layers. Like, so I guess on
bet.
off road, like everybody layers up. Like
Sure.
you don't just wear moto shit.
Right.
Oh yeah, no, they go full layers, and then you look like the Michelin man out there. You probably can't even move your arms.
What do you usually run? Just motocross stuff?
Yeah, moto gear. I've been lately running like Under Armour underneath, especially on the dual sport rides. And then I got one of those like dual sport fly jackets. You can like zip the arms off and stuff like that.
That actually sounds pretty good.
And
Yeah, that's smart.
Yeah, I mean, I've never been the guy to race with like a jacket or anything on, but it seems to be better to at least have something like that on, just to hold your cell phone and your gear on you,
Right.
so you don't have to be that guy with a fanny pack or something stupid.
I got one of those because I didn't want like, and if I was out by myself or whatever, I didn't want to have like bags and shit on the bike because it was like getting in the way of my
Right.
legs. So I got one of those OGO vests. It's like this little vest.
Right, yeah, like
Dude, you could feel it was
carries
so.
all the stuff
I
on.
had tire irons, like a whole full-on wrenches, like a whole kit, like of stuff. Like if you picked it up with your hand, it probably weighed 20 pounds. But when you put it on your shoulders, it's like you can't even feel it.
Didn't seem so bad.
But I was pissed
you don't
because
even know it's there.
it covered up my name and number on the back.
Yeah.
That's funny.
So, yeah, that's cool. And dude, I've been learning this dual sport stuff. Have you been doing it for a while?
No, I mean, it's probably 3 years now. I mean, you know, UTVs took over my life there for a while, but got back into it and bought the X, and I'm like, this is what I should have been doing for a while. Like, it's so freeing, you know? You don't got to go to the moto track and throw down 30 minutes on the bike. You just go ride, and ride as fast as you want, ride as slow as you want. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like I've talked to a bunch of people, and you probably heard this thing too in the industry, that I don't think dual sports will be like the next UTV, but it kind of feels like it's beginning, like the start of the UTV stuff. Like it's the adventure and the dual sport stuff is really growing.
Right. I mean, 15 years ago when we were racing moto, the dual sport thing was the dorks did that. But
yeah.
now it's turning into like, all right, the old moto dudes are realizing like, shit, we can ride this bike and still go hit the track sometimes, or go up to Big Bear, or, you know, just ride. I can ride right out of my house now, go over Silverado Canyon and do all kinds of stuff. So it's a totally different atmosphere.
That's what I was gonna say. Is I think it's the old moto guy that's finally not 20 anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
I think you know what I mean. I really do. I think that's where it is, because there was a pretty like an explosion of that of moto, you know, in late 80s, early 90s, and I think this is just the natural
evolution of it. Yeah,
of what happened.
Because everybody's getting old.
We're all getting old. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the biggest thing for me was I was going to the track like 3 times a week, riding as much as I could, but like I would get over it. Like you would just get so drawn into 30-minute motos and just hammering it out, and then why the hell am I doing it, you know?
And there's always a dude faster. There's always a dude out there faster.
Right, so you're always striving to do something different, bigger jump or whatever. But the dual sport, I feel like you just get on, and it doesn't matter if, you know, your buddy's on a 70s dual sport or a brand new 450L. Like, you guys just 70s. Go ride.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, think about the other thing, too, that in the bicycle side of things, like you go out and road ride and you just hammer to, you know, get in shape or whatever. But when you go mountain biking, it's a whole different story. And especially when you do like these adventure rides, you're just you pull over, you're doing your thing, you know, and you're just like enjoying being outside. So I think that's another thing, is that I've got it in me to still go fast if I want to or need to, but at the same time I can go, hey, that's a pretty cool whatever wooded area or pass we're gonna go over.
I wonder if that is the natural progression.
Not too long ago, me, James, and my buddy Kyle Melville went and did a dual sport ride up in Big Bear. And it was the same thing. It's like we're on these Jeep trails. We're like looking like idiots, but, you know, Kyle's falling and I'm like wheeling over rocks, and like we're riding as hard as we want to. But then again, we're like all laughing at each other because we look like dorks out here just floundering around on these rocks. But we had the time of our life for like 3 days just doing stupid things. And at the moto track, it was always just so serious. So I think that's why dual sports has progressed.
That's
so
the
much.
exact thing that I want to feel going all the way across the country, is that exact like those exact moments that he was saying, oh, dude, we were trying so hard, but we were having a good time.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
So imagine a whole month full of just good time. Well, I guarantee we're going to be beat, but like still.
Right.
If you're not beat, you're not having fun, I guess.
Well, I guess to go back on that then, like, so obviously, like, we're all the old guys and stuff, and the dual sports used to be the uncool guys. UTVs kind of used to be the same way in the off-road stuff, too. And now, like, Cameron Steele,
100%.
super trophy truck guy, he was out there in a UTV. Jeremy McGrath, he's now a brand ambassador for Kawasaki and the whatever the UTV, KRX UTV.
KRX, yeah.
And so
I feel like that progression is the same exact thing as motocross and dual sports, because 10 years ago when the Rhino was out, there's probably 10 people I help right now that 10 years ago would have told me, oh, I would never get in one of those golf carts.
Right. Think about
So it's funny how it's come along.
Think about how far on both sides. Like it's a good parallel. So remember how funny those things look, the long travel Rhino, and how much money you had to throw into it to make it work. Think of the same thing on this long distance ride. Imagine the logistics of way back in the day, 2-stroke or XR, whatever. Now you're like, oh, I'm going to go from the desert to the mountain. And you're like, oh, what am I going to do for jetting? Is it going to run? And like all that is the same now, right? And now you've got this 300 that's lightweight. It's fuel injected.
Yeah. You can just
go.
go.
That's so awesome. So again, a lot of these,
you press the button and go.
Right. So a lot of these things, they're definitely parallels because the equipment's that much better, and everybody's getting old. So it's kind of like the same thing.
Yeah, but I do want to preface this by saying nobody bring a long travel Rhino on this fucking ride. Please don't. Like, seriously.
No homemade fourth seat in the back
we're not
or whatever
doing
it was.
We can at least load up a crappy dirt bike if somebody brings a Craigslist on there, but we
Okay.
can't, like, if he brings the Rhino, we're just going to leave it wherever it
Right.
breaks.
Yeah, don't give James any ideas, because he would be that guy. He would go find a Rhino, chop it up, and make it look like his Rhino back in 05.
All right,
there you go, right.
So we're all shaking hands. We're not giving James any ideas.
That's funny.
Yeah.
But so to go back on that, like seeing all of these badass dudes, we'll call it, like people that we looked up to, like Jeremy McGrath, obviously Cameron Steele is at the top of his game in trophy trucks and stuff. Seeing them with now getting UTV experience, we'll call it. I don't know how much experience they need, but it's super cool, and it's got to be pretty fulfilling to you to be like, wow, they're all coming my way now, like coming to the things that I do with the wheel company and with UTVs.
Cool.
Yeah, it's almost like one of those. I'm almost proud to be involved with it at this point, just because I saw it go through this whole transition from being just, UTVs will never race Baja or whatever, like all this stuff, and we're doing it. Like, just like I said earlier, we went from 5 UTVs finishing King of the Hammers a couple years ago to now 30 UTVs. Like, that just obviously shows what we're doing is legit.
Not to
because
mention,
the course isn't getting here, that's for sure.
That's definitely true. And not to mention legit, though, it also shows a couple things, in my opinion. First, it shows the brands that are helping are obviously there to make money, but it shows the legitimacy of them seeing these trends, like, and growing with these trends that are coming up. But I also want to give kudos to
100%.
Ryan, because he saw it at the beginning, like,
Right.
and he knew it, and he had the passion, and he's just been sticking with it this
Sure.
whole time. That's sweet, man.
Seeing that there was something there.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
That's
there's
awesome.
been some grueling moments, but I've made some stuff happen, and I'm proud of it now.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's why he's in the position he is now, is because everybody, whether he sees it in himself or not, everybody else sees those things like coming from him. That's fucking awesome, man.
Definitely.
Congrats.
What so I was gonna ask this, so I talked to Casey about this earlier. Being on the lake bed at KOH, is it like Redbud Lot B, like super party status? Like, is everybody just going nasty out there?
I've told people this many times. It's like Burning Man for gearheads, dude. It is insane. The stuff you see out there will just blow your mind. I mean, guys will bring, like, I don't know, Jeeps with, like, they just take the body off and they'll flatbed them and make them into like a pirate ship or something stupid. Like, and then they'll go send them up the rock. Like, it's insane.
I kind of want to see it.
Well, it just shows, again, out in the middle of nowhere, and these people they don't care to race. They're just here to bring and be part of the show.
Yeah.
That shows
yeah.
that it's not just a trend, you know what I mean? It's not just a flash in the pan. It's going to continue.
Because there's so much
Yeah, no,
support behind it.
they definitely are proud of what they're doing, that's for sure.
Right. And I know exactly what you're talking about. There's a couple of weird things that we see running around town every now and again. There's a rock crawler that has a boat as a body.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably a guy that comes out to Hammers.
Okay. So just think about what that takes to you have to be that into it to go, I'm going to dedicate 6 months of my life to this project that is just to go to this thing out in the middle of a dry lake bed. That's pretty cool.
Okay, so I'm going to I've never met this dude before. I'm just going to petition Ryan now to get KMC involved with the Star Wars guy that goes out to the dunes in his Razor. He put a Star Wars thing on it. So,
you know what? Just for you, George, I'll get on that.
Sweet. You got to give him some like Star Wars looking wheels though. That's going to be crazy to forge.
We'll do it.
That would be awesome.
And then let's see here. Okay, so do you have any new projects with KMC for 2020? Because I know that we've obviously talked about the growth of the industry, and you've been part of it. What are like some of the ideas and some of the future things that you think are going to happen?
Well, the biggest thing when I got brought on board was, KMC the past, I would say 5 years, just really kind of turned into a corporate brand. It kind of lost not its value, but more or less its just place in the industry. Nobody really knew what we were doing, where we a race brand, where we show wheels. So now, I came in about 3 months ago now, and I'm really positioning the brand to be a race wheel brand like it was, 10, 15 years ago. They were right there with Method when Method started doing their race wheels, and KMC was the top dog back then. So I'm just really positioning us to be that brand again. And I feel like, when I was 15, 16 years old, I wanted KMC beadlocks on my truck just because, I saw Robbie Gordon racing on them. So I feel like I'm going to bring that same feeling back to the brand, and I'm pretty excited for it.
Dude, and I think you're doing a great job. I feel like that's such a good way to look at it, because you take a lot of simplicity in that process. You know what I mean? Because you're taking all the confusion out of all these different genres of putting it into, and
100%.
I can already see just in the very minimal amount that I pay attention to, well, all these different brands, but the way that KMC is being portrayed on social media and through their ad campaigns and things like that, he's doing a fantastic job with that mission.
It's cool.
Thank you.
I'm hearing a similar story to what Josh talked about. Here's a company with,
our buddy,
with history.
Josh Shorter, he's the brand manager at Thor MX.
Right. So here's a company that
right. Yeah, I saw you were doing that.
That you're representing that obviously has history, and it takes a lot for the company as a whole to say, hey, maybe we're missing something here a little bit, and then to go, hey, let's go back after how we got here. That's impressive.
Yeah, I was really fortunate. The guy who took over for marketing, Brian Henderson, he owned a wheel brand, and he kind of did the same thing with that wheel brand, Rotoform. So he brought me on pretty much in the same feeling that I would do the same thing, really bring the lifestyle, the life, the racing culture to the brand, because that's what we are. I mean, it started as a race wheel brand, and we're going to keep it going that way.
Yeah, exactly.
That's awesome.
Well, thank you very much, Veronica, for commenting in on Ryan Edwards' show today. I agree with that 100%. So if we're talking about marketing just by itself, Red Bull, Monster, and these larger companies, they don't market products.
Right.
They market people.
Yep. No, they're marketing that lifestyle.
And the lifestyles. Absolutely. Yeah, so whenever all three of us are all the same, we just talked about it, Crusty Demons of Dirt, sitting there having our VHS watch parties. We literally live for the lifestyle, right? So he's doing 100% what he should do with KMC, because everybody feels that way. When you can engage a person with a feeling instead of money, it's so much more valuable.
Right, it's natural. It doesn't.
I mean, that's exactly why I take, I'll go to an event, like say the Baja 500, for instance. I'll work the booth all day, and then at night go prep a car and race it the next day. That's why I'm doing what I'm doing, because I honestly enjoy this sport and enjoy off-road racing. So I wanted to portray with the brand I'm representing.
Talk a little bit more about that, because I've been not gonna lie, a little bit jealous of when you guys go down there to Baja and stuff, because I've never actually been able to participate or ride in any Baja race except for the short course stuff. You've done a few of those races, haven't you?
Yeah, I think the past 3 years, I think I've done the 500 and 1,000 consistently in a UTV. I raced a bike on the 500 in 2008.
Dude,
but it's just it's one of those feelings, man, the month leading up to it, you have a ball in your stomach. You're like, do I need to go down there? Should I be racing it? And then afterward, you're like, holy crap, I need to do that again. So you just keep chasing that feeling of being in Baja and just feeling that just freedom, because it's totally different down there. Racing down there will really open your eyes to something totally different.
That's kind of so we had our buddy Joe Whining on the show. He's one of the what's the crew chief for Toby Price, and he helps. He helps Bryce and a bunch of other guys, and Jesse Jones. He actually, Jesse Jones' trophy truck is just down the street from where we are. So
gotcha.
He was saying the same thing, though. He said that the feeling that you get down there is like you can go to the Mint 400, right? It's 400 miles. Baja 500 is 500 miles.
Right, but it's
way different.
Yeah, right.
No, it's totally different. I mean, my dad was taking me when I was 12, 13 years old, and taking a couple of my buddies, and I always was down there, and I'm just like, I was so drawn to it. And then the Murrays invited me down to go help them pit, and then it just kept evolving into I needed to be more involved with the program. And then, the last 2 years with Raceline, I was one of the title sponsors of the event, and that was my whole program. So the evolution of being down there and just really getting out there and just being away from everything is awesome.
Yeah, one of these days, like I don't know if I'll ever be able to race an event like that again, but I would definitely love to be a part of one of the teams or something. Go down there, and I'm sure you would too. That'd be super
awesome.
cool.
We'll get you guys down there.
Well, and tacos.
Well, that's another thing I'm doing with KMC is I petitioned to start a UTV race program, and they're all into it. So I'm going to be doing a pro stock car with a Turbo S and just going down there and putting the brand out there and racing my own car this time, not somebody else's car.
Dude, how cool is that? Well, I'm so down to help you guys. If you guys need any help, I'm down to go down there and ranch or do whatever. Yeah, Lucretia said the same thing. She said, man, Baja is so addictive.
Yeah.
Did you guys place good in any of those events?
I was in the M Trace car. It's a Mexican team. I think one of the 500s we got 8th, so top 10 out of 40 is not bad for down there, especially for a team that not like we're new, but we're doing this all ourselves. James is prepping the car for us, so it's a lot of work, and you're going up against teams that are getting full factory paychecks.
Yeah, exactly. It's just a feat in itself just to complete something like that, I'm sure.
Yeah, just finishing it is one of the biggest just feelings you'll want to chase. I don't even care what I place. If I get across that finish line, we're partying.
Dude, that sounds sweet. Lucretia said that I'm welcome to go with them too. Maybe we'll all just join forces. My dad will probably come down there with us too. My dad loves to go on those adventures.
Well, then you'd have to put up with her son Trevor. So I don't know if that would.
So
I'm just kidding.
I don't know if you can see with the camera angle, but can you see the mini bike that we got in the studio?
Yeah.
Trevor got to rip that thing around. He came in so hot in the driveway, like 2 weeks ago. He came in so hot in the driveway at my house. He was like skidding through the gravel with the front brake because he didn't hit the rear brake. I was like, oh, shit. I was like, thank God.
I'm doing him shit now.
Yeah, you got to. I was like, and I got it, and I think he put it on Snapchat too, but I got on video, so we got proof just in case.
You should have done the 2 wheels good, 4 wheels bad thing on him.
Yeah.
But I was thinking to myself, I was like, shit, if this thing was any taller, he would have ate shit. But yeah, so that was pretty funny. But yeah, Lucretia's actually good people. I love Eric, Lucretia, and Trevor. They're all really awesome people.
I've helped Lucretia and Eric since the ICP days, and those will be one of the teams that I'll help through and through until the end of my career, really.
Yeah, absolutely. And that goes back to kind of what we were talking about before, man. It's so cool to have these relationships and to see him grow as a person and see all of these people around him grow and all these connections that are made. And for anybody that's listening that needs like sponsorship advice, don't think of the results are always what matters the most. These relationships can matter a lot.
Right.
Well, and I mean, that goes back to the friendships I've made have led into sponsorship stuff, but at the same time, I use these same people to help promote the brands I'm with because I trust them wholeheartedly that they're going to do what I need them to do. Nowadays, the word sponsorship has become so diluted that it's really hard to find that person. So I'm lucky enough that I've worked with some of these people for 15 years now, and they still give me exactly what I asked for. You know what I mean? I don't have to just throw it out on a whim. Oh, maybe they're going to give me something back, but I can wholeheartedly trust that it's coming back.
That's so cool.
It's integrity, and you're picking partners, basically.
Exactly.
Yep. When the camera's not on, or when people are, when you're not around, they're making the right and saying the right thing and representing.
Exactly.
Yep.
Because I'm the same person no matter what. So I want that person to represent us.
Right. We got a couple more comments that came in and said, B-Rat said, "What's up, fellas?" And then Lucretia said, "We love you, Ryan."
Well, I love you too, Lucretia.
Well, let me ask you this then, because this was something that I was thinking about the other day. So when people talk about marketing and sponsorships, you can give a very good company perspective because of all your experience. This day and age, social media matters, right? But when you talk about content is so delusional now because there's so much of it, right? Like, it used to be that you could generate content and it could be important, but now it's all saturated and it really doesn't matter. So when a person posts a video on Instagram and it gets seen by a bunch of people, does it really matter? I don't know. Like, when it comes down to it, like, is the most important thing how many followers you have or how many actual people you have relationships with?
Right.
I think the biggest thing nowadays is just like we were saying just a couple minutes ago, the genuine relationship with people and how they're representing you. Because, you can really fall into that trap of, I got this many followers, I got this many views. But in my eyes, I want to see the person that's there every weekend. Doesn't matter if they're breaking the car or they're on the podium. They're out there representing my brand how I want it to be represented.
Yeah.
And that goes back to why I work with the same people, through and through, just because they know, what they need to give me. And I see a ton of sponsorship requests, give me this, I need that. But at the same time, when somebody comes at you and they're fresh and they're coming up with new ideas, that's the person I want to be with.
Yeah, absolutely. And just a good person, too. Yeah, I completely agree with that. I mean, I get all kinds of people always asking me just stupid questions. How do you get sponsored? Like, how did you do it when I was like, dude, I just worked hard and, shook people's hands. Like,
100%.
That was it, man. Like, I didn't, know anybody crazy. I just, did it myself. Like, when I went to start the UTV stuff, I had no idea what I was doing. I went and rode a bicycle.
Right.
I rode a bicycle for 5 years to get sponsors because I thought that was going to be my way of making a name for myself.
Right.
5 years effort before I made $1 to get to pay for my off-road car.
Right.
Yeah. No, and I mean, you could ask James the same thing. James has been in this for 15 years now, and he'll tell you this day, I'm the only person that's ever given him free product. He pays for everything he wants to do, and he could be a top UTV racer any day. So it doesn't matter if you're getting all the free product. I want a person that's going to be represented and, genuinely, even if they were paying for it, they would still be doing the same thing. You know what I mean?
Well, I agree.
Think about the end user that's completely on their own, right? It's totally out of their wallet, and they go to one of these events, right? And this guy has, I'm just making a hypothetical situation because it happens all the time, 1,000 followers or whatever, and everything looks great on social media. And this guy and his kids come to this event, right? And he's like, oh, hey, cool. He represents so-and-so. One thrown helmet, and you know what I mean? And it's gone.
Yep.
So
it's over.
I feel like social media has done its thing, but it's almost like we're full circle again.
I feel that's kind of where I was going.
It's like it's back to the human element.
It's weeding out the fakes at the same time. You know what I mean? People, it's really coming. It's rising up now. The people that aren't doing the right stuff, aren't getting the sponsorships. They're not getting the help and stuff like that. And, what's his name, Raceline? I helped him for the past couple of years, and he's come to me for sponsorship advice a bunch. But at the same time, it's like the kid is genuinely a good kid. Like, you talk to him, anybody can approach him. He's a family kid. Like, it just is so refreshing to meet somebody like that in this world. You know what I mean?
I would like to meet that kid because I love seeing stories like that, man.
Yeah,
Big time.
It's awesome.
Oh, he's amazing. His whole program's amazing. I love every second of it.
Yep. And it's just doing the right thing, right? Doing the right thing when nobody's looking.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. One of the guys that we know does the right thing just chimed in. Mike Gardner. He said, "Ryan's the man."
Yeah, Mike is the man.
Well, he was saying that you were the man. So who's more a man? If you guys were sitting out at the,
he's on top of that.
If you guys had to arm wrestle, who's gonna win that?
He's winning.
You the man tennis? Is that what we're doing here?
I don't know, man. Arm wrestling or cornhole, whoever wins that gets the title. Because he's already gonna try to beat James for the title, so he's gonna be the man at the Mint 400.
I'm dual sport champion.
Yeah, dual sport man. Dude, I want to come check it out when you guys do that Mint 400 thing. I got a couple people that asked if we were going to go to the Mint 400 this year, and I didn't really see very much value in me showing up there, but I think I might just go to just shake hands and just have a good time.
Dude, come out, hang in the pits. I mean, we need someone to man a gas jug, so we'll get you out there.
Sweet. I don't know how good I'm going to be lifting that gas jug, though. And plus, my eyes are all fucked up now, so I'll probably just pour it all over your lap.
Right in the lap.
Hey, it's a quick fill. You just got to be around that area. All right?
Hey, how about this? I'll take the gas jug, and we'll swap you out for making tacos at the pits.
There you go.
Perfect. I can supply those.
Jesse Gage says, "Hey, what's up, guys?" And it's cool to see all these people chiming in, man. You can obviously have a good understanding of what kind of guy Ryan is when he's out there, and he's obviously shaking hands, kissing babies, and making friends. So
Definitely. That's
yeah,
good.
and that's the other thing, just got to be involved with the program. The people that sit behind the desk really don't get far in this industry anymore.
yeah, exactly. You really do need to get your hands dirty. I love that about the way that James works like that, you work like that, and a bunch of other guys in the industry that we know work like that too. And it makes a big difference. Look at Josh Shorter from Thor.
Yeah.
He's doing the same thing.
Yep.
Well,
Yeah, I'm still mounting beadlocks and putting them on cars and stuff, so it's all reality for me.
do you Loctite every single bolt on the beadlock?
I do not. I just impact and I'm done. I'm out.
Peace. So, what's the future hold for you?
Man, I mean, the biggest thing nowadays is just keep progressing with what we're doing. Don't become stale, don't become stagnant. Just keep evolving and being ahead of the curve. And I got some cool stuff coming out with some Ford stuff for UTVs, which is going to be hitting around the mint, and I think people are going to be pretty impressed with that.
I can't wait to see those new products, man. I really appreciate you coming. Oh, I know something that's in the future for you. Mike Gardner said that you're going to kick his ass at arm wrestling.
I'm going to get Mike later. Don't worry.
So it's cool to see those people commenting in and asking and mentioning stuff like that for you. Well,
what's the other guy riding for a bike? The guy that just piped in with the arm. Who's going to win the arm wrestle? Because this
Mike?
guy's on a 450. He's got 450 forearms.
Yep.
What's this guy got?
Yep.
Mike, I don't know. Mike, does he have pretty big arms?
I think he's got me beat.
Okay. All right.
Does he-
He's probably got the weight on me.
Does he have like 250F forearms or 450 forearms? Because if you got
I think
450
he's
forearms,
more in the 300 range, maybe 300 fuel injected.
300 fuel injection. That doesn't. You don't have to turn the throttle as much because it doesn't
Right.
bog as much. So
back in the day, we used to kind of judge each other on that. Like, oh, you just moved up. Let me see your arms. Yeah, you got a while to go.
exactly
Remember those days?
Yeah, like just to judge how big their
Yeah,
muscles were.
totally.
And you knew the
Yeah,
dude that was
500
like
two-stroke for a champion.
those dudes that were super yoked. You were like, dude, this guy's gonna kill me for the first 3 laps, and then he's
Yeah.
gonna get tired, and then I'm
Right.
gonna pass him.
Right.
He's gonna
I
be
got the long haul.
Mike said James is an OG too, so that's cool. Well, how can people connect with you?
Man, I'll respond to anything. Really, sometimes I'm too good at responding, but Instagram, Facebook, I'm Rhino134 on Instagram, but I run the whole KMC UTV Instagram page, which is growing right now. And if people want sponsorship help or talk about sponsorship, I'm there.
Sweet,
and my
man.
wife gets mad because I'm on my phone 24/7, but I'll respond to you.
Right. You're not one of those ones that takes January off for social media?
No, it hurts the business when that happens.
I know. I was thinking about that too. I was like, man, it would be nice to just go out and like not have to worry about posting, but then the show would just go to shit if I didn't worry about it. So
Yeah, you would have nothing.
And for our audience members that do want to get in touch with Ryan, just go to some of the latest posts that we've done on Instagram. You can go to some of the latest posts that we've done on Facebook. You can hit us up and direct message us, and we'll get you Ryan's contact info if you want to talk to him. He's obviously an awesome dude. He's got some really, really cool goals, and we love that he's staying humble, even though there's watch parties now. He's still watching VHS watch parties at his house on Monday.
And he's got a sweet retro 2-stroke sitting right there. So already gets street credit with me.
I'm ready to go ride it right now.
I know. That gives way more street credit than a little mini bike, doesn't it?
The mini bike's pretty
honestly,
cool
I've
too.
been staring at that thing the whole time.
It is pretty rad. I've cut my teeth on it.
Is that the fuel injected one?
Oh, dude, I wish. It's pretty crisp, like the way it is, because I jetted it pretty good, and it doesn't leave Arizona, so it's like it doesn't bog or nothing. But that,
It's prime.
But it does have electric start. How cool is that?
Yeah, that is pretty cool for a 110.
well, we got to put the electric start. You got to put it like down low because the bars are too high, so you got to like do it on the bottom.
You kept hitting it.
Yeah, so you got it. But those things are so fun, dude. A cool story about Case when we were going down to teach his daughter how to side by side drive the drive the Unicorn side by side that we got. He was going down a wash on that thing. Like the wash was super, super soft.
It was.
And he's 6'3", 6'4".
6'3", yeah.
He's on the back of the bike, fully leaned back on the like third or fourth gear, wide open, and
Full
he's got to
shot style.
hang these corners because otherwise he would have had to walk it for like 2
Yeah, I'm
miles.
sure those little tires love the sand.
Oh my gosh, it was terrible. It was fun.
The funniest part about it was I was laughing the whole time. He did his own King of the Motos, but he did it on a mini bike.
Perfect.
Well, thank you very much, Ryan, for joining us. I really appreciate it, man. Is there anything
No
else
worries,
you want to tell our audience?
No, just keep grinding away, and if you're looking to be in the sport or be in, any sort of sport that's sponsoring, just keep doing you. Don't have to sell out just to get free product. That's my biggest thing.
Be real, right?
Yeah,
Be real.
exactly. Free product is not always the best thing. I always told everybody when they'd ask me for sponsorship advice, I'd say, before you talk about getting free product, talk to the person and see if the person is a good person that you're going to be working with, because that's going to be the main thing. If you can afford to
100%.
race, then you can figure out a way to probably buy tires or buy wheels or whatever. And if you end up wanting a relationship, make sure it's a right relationship. Make sure you're signing up for the president to be a president for 4 years, not for just 2 weeks. You
It's
know
that
what I mean?
partnership, long term.
Yeah, it's the long haul.
Yep.
Exactly. So, great advice, man. I really appreciate you giving our audience all that stuff.
No worries.
I can't read her name, but she said hi from Ensenada, BC, Mexico, and
Israel.
Yeah.
And Jesse Gage said it's going down on the bikes at the Mint, and Mike Gardner.
Oh yeah, Jesse's one of those guys that signed up, so he's coming.
Doesn't he have a YXZ too?
Yeah, he has a full desert YXZ.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's gonna race it at the Mint.
But he's gonna do bike too.
Bike too, yeah.
Are they separate days?
The pro class is, yes. So bike would be Friday, and then UTV Saturday.
Oh, okay. So he can go and like use all his energy and then just sit in the UTV and hang out.
That's what I did last year with Logan Gastel. I raced the dirt bike on Saturday, and then 6 a.m. Sunday morning got in a UTV and did 400 miles.
How worked were you?
That's pretty cool. Awesome.
I did not want to go to work on Monday. That was for sure.
I was gonna say, dude, you need a protein shake after that.
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
So we've got Alfonso saying Dirt Life live at the races. Let's go.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool. But I feel like there's already people doing podcasts and things like that live at the races. I
agreed. It's more of a go to the race.
Yeah, to go to the race. I think like that would be super cool. That's what I was saying.
I want you as like a pit reporter.
That'd be pretty cool.
That would
just covering my whole race.
That'd be super cool, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that would actually be super fun. So I got some
Just in the pit with like the old school microphone. Just like standing there. Just
that's a good idea.
Chip Stevenson here.
Yeah, exactly.
Like what was it? Art Ekman and Larry Reynolds.
Yeah, perfect.
Super old school supercross.
Oh, love those.
Dude,
love those guys.
I'll have to get those like the denim T-shirt, like all like dress up for it. That'd be so cool.
Good stuff.
All right, man. Well, dude, thank you so much for joining us. I really appreciate you taking the time. We'll let you get back to the family and keep kicking ass, man. Keep doing the good stuff.
Hey, appreciate it, guys. Well, keep up the good show, too.
Appreciate it, dude.
Take care.
Talk to you later, bud.
Talk to you.
Man, was
Awesome.
that intense or what?
It's pretty cool to see. I mean, all that insight of two guys in very similar, same roles, similar roles.
Right.
Two different industries, but they're kind of the same.
Yeah.
And there's lots of parallels, but man, we keep hearing that same. I mean, it's hard work.
To grow through it.
Yep. Perseverance, hard work, and partnerships.
Both of them literally said the same thing. Started from the bottom and worked your way up to the top.
Pretty awesome.
I think that experience, and it goes back to just why we started this show, man. The Dirt Life was started because I genuinely feel every day when you go to work, something from your childhood living in the dirt comes up because you had to work hard.
Right.
Every day when I wake up, I think about that same stuff. Something happens, you know what I mean? And even just driving down the road, like when we're driving down the road, we see it different than somebody that's going to Safeway that had never lived in the dirt. They just lived in the city their whole life.
Right. Well, we're trying to turn sidewalks into doubles and rhythm sections.
Too.
But
that too. But it's cool to see, and I really appreciate
Agreed.
the humbleness that Josh Shorter had as well as Ryan. Like, Ryan's a humble dude, and like I said when we were talking to him, if you were a CEO of a company or whoever's hiring for a position like that, you can see just in the way he talks, looking at his face, knowing the things that are coming out of his mouth, his experience, how humble he is, that he's a perfect fit for a position like that.
Right, and he's doing everything that he's got the brand's best interest in mind, and the people that run it.
I think he might have motocross as his best interest in mind.
Yeah, maybe so, but yeah, he's obviously making decisions on the values of the company, and and he means it, obviously.
Yeah.
I mean, he lives it. So.
He totally lives it, man. He's riding his motorcycle. He's doing the side-by-side stuff. It'd be neat to see, like, go down there and hang out with him in Mexico one of these times, too. But I think my main goal, I'm just going to focus on one thing, and that's getting everybody to ride dirt bikes cross country.
Oh, that'll be so cool.
I think it would be pretty cool. So, well, thank you very much, Ryan, for joining us and having some fun with us tonight, talking a little bit of shop with James Hill, Mike Gardner, and all those guys. We really appreciate having everybody tuning in. I'm glad that everybody tuned in to listen to his story. Hopefully you guys learned a little bit from him. I just figured out this week that you can have notifications and all that stuff on Instagram. So you can hit the notification button. You'll be notified when we do any posts. And obviously Facebook will tell you when we're going live. It's going to tell you if we have stuff going on during the week. Pay attention because we're going to have more giveaways. We're going to do a lot of fun stuff with our sponsors like Shock Therapy. You can use the code DIRTLIFE. Go get a big old fat discount on their website, or call them up, say my name, say Casey's name, say Dirt Life, say whatever you want, and you'll get a big old fat discount from them too. Zollinger Racing Products, JP, you should hit us up. Razor Junkie. Those things are badass, man.
He's stoked. He's got to be stoked.
Well, if he's not watching right now, he's not very stoked. He's at his house just chilling, waiting for somebody to tell him that he won them. But yeah, use the code DIRTLIFE for Zollinger Racing Products. Get a big old fat discount there too. Thank you very much, Rigid Industries. Love those guys. And we will see Lance from Solderweld next week. We're going to have Chris Ridgway, ex-pro motocrosser, come on next week.
That's cool.
He just went to King of the Hammers, and he's actually raced it a couple times. He's a lower leg amputee. He broke his ankle pretty good in motocross, and he's going to come talk to us about it. He went to KOH. He's going to go to San Diego Supercross, coming straight here after that. So
nice.
It's going to be cool. We'll probably all go get tacos and have a good time. So if I'm a little late for the Dirt Life show on next Monday, just know that it's because I'm filling my belly with tacos. Thank you very, very much, everybody, for tuning in. Cody, I'm a little mad at you because you made tacos and we didn't get any. But
did he have guac, though?
I don't know because he's allergic to avocados.
Oh, then he's over it.
Yeah. So, but Carly, I think she's into guac.
Okay.
Oh, thank you very much to my mom. My mom surprised me today with sugar-free cannoli dip.
Oh, what?
Talk about like game changer, dude. Like it's like pretty freaking good, man. So my life is now changed forever. Thank you very much, everybody, for tuning in. We really, really appreciate it. And please keep supporting us. Go and like, subscribe, do all that stuff. We love you guys. We will see you guys later. Good night.
Night.
Thanks for listening to The Dirt Life Show.